All right, well, happening tonight, a very special fundraiser to help the Carson Scholars Fund. It's an educational nonprofit. The group was founded by Housing Secretary Dr. Ben Carson while he was operating, obviously, at Johns Hopkins Hospital, and his wife, Candy Carson, who's joining us here. Tonight, the group is hosting a fundraiser called We Can Be Heroes, and they've got a special guest, Tony Orlando, an icon in the music industry. Many of us grew up watching you. Many of us watched you as adults if you were an adult when you were performing. They're both here to talk about this big event. Mrs. Carson, first of all, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having us.
For those who might not be aware, please tell us about the Carson Scholars. You and your husband, Dr. Carson, have spent a great deal of your lives dedicating not only your energy, but also your resources to helping young people achieve as your husband has achieved.
Well, in 1994, we started the Carson Scholars Fund because of the education crisis in our country. And we noticed when we would visit schools and they have all these wonderful trophies and plaques for the sports stars and the bands and so on and so forth. And, you know, the academic superstars would maybe get a pat on the head and a little pin and they're their little nerd.
Yes.
But, you know, if you can get to kids early on, like age 4 is where grade 4, age 9.
Okay.
And these kids get a scholarship. They get, and it's based on, I'm sorry, I do kind of meander, but
that's okay.
It's based on their high academic achievement, but also humanitarian qualities.
All right.
You know, because we want to make sure that our future leaders will be people that care as well.
Which is important. Tony Orlando, from Tony Orlando and Dawn, knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
And I want your audience to know he knew every word.
I absolutely knew. I can't sing it that well, but I knew the words.
You sang it great.
How did you come to partner with Mrs. Carson and Dr. Carson?
Well, many years ago, when the Cancer Foundation, the Carsons at Johns Hopkins, they asked me to perform, I think it was 1996. You know, they've always given their lives and their hearts to children for cancer, for brain research, and for education. So a call from the Carsons is an easy, when do you start, when do you need me, what plane do I get on?
Right, yeah, that's all you needed to know. And so tell us about this event. How big will it be? How many people do you expect to have there?
We expect pretty much a full house. We're going to be at the Children, Trans Ed Alliance, and because, you know, Tony is such a draw. so, you know, with him coming and there's so many people that love his music. But it's really for the kids. We're trying to raise money for, well, our goal is to get 40 more scholarships this year. So
how many young people do you imagine Carson Scholars helps a year, Candy? Or if you know the total has helped?
We're almost at 8,000 now. We're in 50 states.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, our kids was so cool. I mean, they're not only smart, but they care. And like compared to the national average, our SAT scores are 23% higher.
You're proud of that?
93, of course, because these kids are working hard. These are the ones that sacrifice. They should be given the opportunity to receive an award and be put on a pedestal. The thing is, there's fallout on that. Other kids see them achieving, and then they want to do it too. So that ripple effect is another thing we were going for.
And Tony, that's a good point. I mean, while whether or not a kid gets in the Carson program, it's great. But other kids can have the same kind of achievement if they put their minds to it and get the help that they need if they're not able to do it on their own.
If we don't care about our children, we don't have a future. It's that simple. There's no complicated concept here. If we don't take the children that are sick to the children who can be educated. I've been with the Carsons.
You have children yourself?
I have 2, and I've been with the Carsons in 1997. I'm a young boy. I just come out of surgery with Ben Carson as being his surgeon. And the boy, I put the microphone to him. I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now, remember, he had just come out of a drastic surgery a year before. And he stood tall and he said, Tony, I'm going to be president of the United States of America. That's all I had to hear.
That was it. That was it. We want to thank you all for coming on today, and I think this is wonderful. You're going to perform, by the way?
I am, and she doesn't have to ask me to knock 3 times, just to knock once I'm there.
Tie yellow ribbon?
Yeah, tie yellow ribbon.
Notice I'm wearing yellow.
You're wearing yellow.
Yes, for the yellow ribbon.
Now, are you performing solo, or will this be with Dawn?
So, no, Dawn is, Thelma Hopkins is the longest running sitcom actress in history. I call her and borrow money now. That's how well she's doing.
I think that's a good deal for you. I'm not sure about her, right?
We're still friends. We're brothers and sisters, the girls and I.
Right.
Joyce is off to China with the Supremes. Thelma's on a new television sitcom.
Wow.
And continues on with a great acting career.
Wonderful. Candy Carson, thank you so much, Mrs. Carson. Always
Thank you
a pleasure.
for having
Tony
us.
Orlando,
Thank you. God bless
I
you.
am honored to meet you.
Pleasure's mine.
Sang
Thank
your
you,
songs
sir.
as I was a kid. I still sing them.
Sing a line.
We
Ready?
noticed.
Not 3 times.
On the ceiling if you want
He sings too
me,
good. He
twice
sings
on the
too.
pipe,
I'm
if
not
the
going there.
answer is no.
I love you. I love you.
Bravo.
Thank you, sir.
Next year, you're doing the event.
I'll announce you. Well, tonight, We Can Be Heroes fundraiser event is taking place at 7 o'clock, as Mrs. Carson mentioned, at the Trans Alliance. They certainly would love to see you come out there.